And welcome back here to San Antonio, Texas. Game 2 of Tufts and St. Thomas. The teams have switched designations, so it is Tufts leading us off here in the top of the first inning. Lineup very similar to what we saw, exactly what we saw in Game 1. Haley Leinbach and Heaven Aliva, followed by Paige Murphy, Caitlin Perucci, Lauren Harita, Kat Kawabi, Taylor Hurst, Mac Seibel, and Ellen Malin. It'll be Sarah Brody starting for Tufts. In the circle here, Allison Hughes for St. Thomas. And she is behind in the count, 2-1 to line back. St. Thomas lineup, Rebecca Archibald, Savannah Hinken, Chloe Bennett, Samantha Crumrin, Sierra Gonzalez, Viviana Vargas, Anna Zozaya, That will be a base hit. And keep the runner there. Megan Anderson will bat 8th for St. Thomas, and Gigi Rivera will bat 9th. That one off of the pitcher. We saw this in Game 1, where the ball hit off of Sosaman's leg, off her heel, and they had to come out and check her. And so they're going to give a warm-up pitch or two here. Looks like she's pretty solid. They're going to go with just the one pitch, and we are moving on to Heaven Aliva. And Aliva with a runner on. Tufts taking Game 1, 10-3. That one will miss low to start off Aliva. Game 2, first pitch, 77 degrees. Roughly the high for today. We're expecting 79 as a high. It's 4:30, and maybe it gets there. We'll see. Sunset somewhere around 7:30 tonight. We should be able to play this one without lights, but we'll see if we turn them on late, depending on how this game goes. The 1-2. Slow roller over to Gonzalez. She goes to second and gets the lead runner, and there's one down. Fielder's choice for Aliva. Paige Murphy will step in. Get another look. Good strong throw over to second. One down, now Murphy. Shortstop making a lot of defensive plays in Game 1 for Tufts. Tufts now 9-2 on the season. St. Thomas 15-4. That loss in Game 1 snaps their 9-game D3 win streak. That's going to find the gap. Right center. So runners will move up 60 feet and will be first and second. There's Murphy into the barrel. She was able to pull it just a touch more. Might have gotten a double out of it, but scampering over was Archibald to cut it off. Take it on a hop. And now Caitlin Perucci. Perucci with a triple and a double in Game 1. She got the jumbos going. Same spot in Game 1, but bottom of the first. Got a 2 RBI triple. Now it misses, evens the count at 1. Hammers that one. Almost getting our third base coach. miss. 2-2. Hughes has given up a pair of hits to the first three batters. Inside. No, does not get the call. Count runs full. Game 2 against Trinity. Tufts gave up a 5 spot in the bottom of the first after failing to score to open the frame in Game 2. And trying to get something on the board for third time out of 4 games. And down on strikes is going to be Perucci. Lauren Harita will come up with 2 down and 2 aboard. You see Hughes. Beautiful drop at the very end. First strikeout of the afternoon for Hughes. Now Allison will face Lauren Harita. Foul tip. Outfield shaded to play left field. Massive gap over into right center. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Wabi awaits on deck. Should Harita get on board safely? The 1-2, fouled off. Both teams with double-digit hits in Game 1. A pair here in the first inning for the Jumbos, but that'll be all. Second strikeout of the first inning for Allison Hughes. She gets out of a jam. Go to the bottom of the first where St. Thomas will come up, get their first hacks at the plate when we return. It'll be Sarah Brody in the circle for the Jumbos, and she's got Rebecca Archibald up at the plate for St. Thomas. Archibald with a hit in her final at bat in Game 1. Showing bunt here and takes the offering, so 1-1. Fouled off, and it'll be 1-2. Do it again. Staying alive one more time. Hot shot over to third. It's a fair ball. Bounces off of Simon or Seibel, and that will go down for a base hit for Archibald. Very hot shot to the hot corner. Able to knock it down, but it skirts away. So one aboard now for Savannah Hinken. Tries to sacrifice over, but pops up the bunt. Seibel charges in, gets the catch, and one down. So the 3 spot, Chloe Bennett. Bennett had a couple of hits in game 1. Takes low for a ball. One skips through, so 2-0. Strike, 2-1. And now 2-2. Reaches out, over to Seibel, goes for the lead run, and gets Archibald over at second, and they're 2 down. So now Samantha Crumrin. Takes the offering 1-1 now. And an illegal pitch called. He's saying she did not come set. And another illegal pitch. So the count now 3-2, 2 down. It'll be Bennett over at first. She'll be off with the release. And this will be fouled off. Payoff pitch once more. That'll miss high for ball 4. 2 are aboard. Sierra Gonzalez steps to the plate. Brody missing. Starts off 1-0 on Gonzalez. Gonzalez making her way into the hit column in game 1. 2 aboard, 2 down. Slow roller. Seibel. Fields throws over to first. A good stretch. And that'll do it for the bottom half of the first. So they get a couple aboard, but St. Thomas can't bring them across. We go to the second, tied at 0. We'll be back in just a bit. Top of the second. Kat Kawabi leading us off. Take strike 1. The count now 1-1. Excuse me, the count was 0-2. Now it's 1-2. This is popped up. Might stay playable. Nope. Onto the roof. And the 1-2. Missing high. Count runs full. Just foul. Quavi's 3-2 pitch. Inside, she'll draw the walk. And second consecutive inning that Tufts will put the leadoff batter aboard. That'll be Taylor Hurst. Had an RBI in game 1 and a pinch hit roll. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Inside will even the count. That will stay playable for Bennett, and she'll make the catch, or excuse me, Zosiah. And Zosiah will make the catch behind the dish. Bennett was catching game 1. Zosiah behind the dish in game 2. My mistake. And there's one down. So Max Seibel, third baseman, will step in. Looking at an 0-2 count. Outside, 1-2. They chop her over to second. They'll take the lead run, and the lead runner Kawabi will be out, so 2 down in the inning. And Seibel will reach on a fielder's choice. Ella Malin, the 9-spot hitter here for Tufts, will step in. Now the 1-1. Missing. Malin now ahead in the count. That one will catch, evens count at 2. Now 2 down as well. It'll be top of the order if she can get safely. Foul ball. Safely foul, so we'll do it again. It'll be a full count. Seibel will be off with the release. And that one floated through the triangle out in left field. Seibel going first to third. She was off with the release, and she's going to make it all the way around, and Tufts on a 3-2 out pitch is going to take the lead on the base hit from Ella Malin. Right through the Bermuda Triangle of sorts out there for St. Thomas. They had shortstop, left field, and center field all somewhat positioned correctly, and it just found the one area that nobody could get to in time. And a double for Malin. And 1 for 1 on the day. Haley Lineback. A single off of Hughes to start us off. She can get another one up and through the middle. Put Tufts in a good spot to score. That one's just going to land in front of the left fielder. Going to hold the runner at third. It'll be first and third. With 2 down here for Heaven Oliva. 2 for 2 day now for Lineback. So we'll see if they try to swipe second here. Swing and a miss. Runners stay. And called strike 2. 0-2 now. Similar spot, but it misses. Outside for ball 1. Called strike 3. That'll do it for us here in the top of the second. But Tufts on the board early. And they've got the 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom half of the second. It'll be 6-7-8 due up for the Celts when we return. Bottom of the second inning, and it's going to be Vivian Vargas stepping in. A couple of hits in game 1, late in that game. And starts off. This one will get through. Past the diving attempt of both Seibel and Page. Under the glove of Seibel, and Paige Murphy tried to get there as well to knock it down. It wouldn't have helped. Still going to be a single at that point. And a leadoff single for Vargas. Zozaya in there behind the dish today. Floats this one into center. Perucci calls it off and has the first out of the bottom of the second. Megan Anderson. Anderson did not She played in game 1, factored in a little bit, but she'll get her first hit here. Out into left field, 2 aboard. First pitch swinging here for the Celts. 2 aboard and 1 down as we hit the 9 spot, Gigi Rivera. First pitch missing outside. Now quickly 2-0. And now Tufts in a bind. 3-0. Runners on first and second. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. We'll get the called strike. And the 3-1. Chopped. Seibel gets the runner at second, and it'll be runners at first and third as we go back to the top of the order with Archibald. Archibald with a single. Excuse me. I believe it was a single to the third base side. Back to lead us off in the bottom of the first. And she's got 2 aboard and 2 down. First pitch missing for ball 1. That'll make it ball 2. The 3-0 called strike. And that one will be through the gap. Murphy had slid all the way over as much as she possibly could. It's still just beyond the reach of Seibel. Murphy could not come up with the stop. And that'll tie us at 1. Vargas scores on the play. And an RBI for Archibald, who's 2 for 2 here in game 2. Give way to Savannah Hinken. Popped out to third in her first appearance here in game 2. That one rides up and in, so ball 2. And now a meeting for Tufts. I'll step aside real quick, be right back. Back. It is the 2-spot Hinken batting with 2 aboard here in the bottom of the second. 1-1 game. Courtesy of the runner at first, Rebecca Archibald, who singled through the left side. Brought around Viviana Vargas. So the Celts matching Tufts so far with 1 run. And that's going to be an illegal pitch. And it's still going to be an illegal pitch. She hasn't pitched it yet. And so now there's the ball. And it'll be 3-1. I don't know if Brody was thinking that she could reset it by not throwing, but stayed illegal through that. And now we've got a full count, 2 down. So expect the runners to be off. It helped Tufts. They scored on a 3-2 pitch with 2 down. A little chopper back to Brody, fires over to first, and that will get Tufts out of this jam. St. Thomas equaling and coming back and tying this game at 1. And we'll go to the third and be back here in San Antonio. Top of the third inning, Paige Murphy in the 3 spot here for Tufts. Back at it. First pitch swinging. She'll hit it over to Gonzalez, who fires over to first to retire. And she's now 1 for 2 on the day after a single in the first. That'll be 1 down for Caitlin Perucci. Perucci 0 for 1 in this game. A double and a triple to her credit in game number 1. And a hard hit ball to the shortstop. And Rivera, tough bounce, goes right through her glove. They're debating hit or error next to us with the scorer's decision. And probably go down as a hit. And it is single through the left side. The only thing I'll say about that one is if Rivera gets in front of it and starts to try to play it off to the side, probably knocks it down enough. But even at that point, don't know if you're getting Perucci, the center fielder, out at first on a ball knocked down. So, base hit it is. 5th one of the game so far here for Tufts. And St. Thomas has 4 of their own. Lauren Harita, 0 for 1, struck out in the first. She'll walk here in the second, or excuse me, third. And that is now 2 aboard with 1 down for Kat Kawabi. Kawabi walked in the second. It was a force out. inside. Even count at 1. That one will be lifted to center, and that'll be 2 down. Taylor Hurst, 0 for 1. Fouled out to the catcher. Takes it for strike 1. This one lifted, it's going to go foul. Now the 1-2 count. One, two down for Taylor Hurst. That one skips before the plate, evens the count. Fouled off. And again, Hughes with the 2-2. Lifted into center, and drifting back on it, and making the catch will be Hinken. And that'll do it for Tufts in the top of the 3rd. We'll head to the bottom half and be back in just a bit. Chloe Bennett's going to lead us off here in the bottom of the 3rd. Takes ball 1. Head into a fielder's choice back in the 1st inning. And a quick 4-3 put out for Kawabe and Lineback. Be 1 down here in the 3rd. They'll give away to Samantha Crumrin. And Crumrin with a walk here in game 2. Foul ball, evens the count at 1. And now the 1-2. Chopped right back to Brody. She makes the play, and they're 2 down. Ciara Gonzalez, 0 for 1 on game 2. First pitch misses. Fouled off, and even the count at 1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Went off speed. Got Gonzalez way out in front. And now the 2-2. Chopper back to Brody. And that'll do it for the 3rd. We head to the 4th, still tied at 1. The first offering of the top of the 4th inning is fouled off by Max Seibel. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Jumbos here in the 4th. The 2-1. Lifted into center. Hinkin handles, and there's one down. Malin has a double in this game, and that one she will fly out. And so hitting the first pitch and being retired, 2 down now. As Haley Lineback will make her third attempt through the order. She's 2 for 2 on the day. First pitch missing. And the 1-0 will miss. Looking for a third hit of the day, but that one's going to fall into the glove of Archibald. And lineback is retired. So a 1-2-3 inning here for Allison Hughes in the fourth, and we head to the bottom half of the inning, still tied at 1. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters here for St. Thomas. Vargas, Josiah, and Anderson. And a couple of quick half innings here for both teams recently. Brody will check the pitch com and fire in. Oh, missing outside. Fouled off the screen. That one out into right field, and avoiding the collision was Kawabe going out as Malin was coming in. Malin will put it away for the first out of the bottom of the fourth. Good job by Kawabe to veer off out of the way. And it's Isaiah, the catcher. looking for the strike 3 call, but not getting it, and it'll be 1-2. And that'll be through the left side. Zaya is aboard with 1 down, and that'll give way to Megan Anderson. Anderson with a hit into left field in her first at-bat. Zaya's hit was the 5th for St. Thomas. Both teams now with 5 hits and the 1 run scored. And a hot chopper back to Brody, and she's not able to find a glove. Somehow it escaped into center field. And both Murphy and Kawabe going there, and just missed both of their gloves, and now we'll get a pinch runner over at second. That's Pins coming in. So 2 aboard on the error. Gigi Rivera batting in the 9 spot, but an opportunity to help St. Thomas go up big here in game 2. Will be fouled off, so we're even at 2-2. Apologies for the delay in this at-bat for Rivera. Got our Trinity women's tennis match starting just off the third base side behind the building that we're in now currently. So we've got quite a few things going on as this building functions for both softball and tennis. So just trying to get some things handled on that end as well. And we're still at 2-2. That one misses, full count, 1 down. Chopper over to second. Kawabe over to Hughes and off to first, not in time, almost the double play, but they do get 1. And that'll leave runners at first and third with 2 down here in the bottom half of the 4th. Got it out as cleanly as you could on both ends. Rivera running, made that a very tough play. We're back to the top of the order with Rebecca Archibald, 2 for 2 on the day. Over to Hughes. Fires over, and the out is made. Tufts escapes out of a jam, and we're tied at 1 after 4 complete. We'll be back to San Antonio here for the top of the 5th in just a moment. Top of the 5th inning here from Trinity University. Hosting this neutral game between 11th ranked St. Thomas and 17th ranked Tufts. NCAA Division III softball. It'll be 2-3-4 for Tufts. Heaven Olivia. Oliva, followed by Paige Murphy and Caitlin Perucci. And Oliva steps in, first pitch, swinging hard, fouls it off the left side. And that one will miss outside, make it 1-1. And another shot. That one's going to get onto the tennis courts. And fortunately, the opposing team, Wellesley, in a group huddle in a circle as opposed to being on the courts. And that avoids hitting anybody, and that one will miss outside, so full count. A couple of the Wellesley players and coaches still looking back with like, where did that come from? With the new netting here last couple of years, we do not have a lot of balls that hit up there, but that one hit just over the net. It bounced off the old netting poles, which are about 10 feet back. And that one is lifted. It's going to go foul. It had the distance, had plenty of distance. That was hammered. The previous one that reached the tennis courts, though, hit off of one of the old poles that are beyond the netting that's there now, and then skipped across the roof line and onto the court. So Leva showing incredible power here so far. And that last one went be, let's see what we have there. There's about 20 yards to the back fence from the playing fence, and it probably one-hopped it 3/4 of the way there. So at 40 feet to the, what is that, 220? So 265 on the fly. And that one that went foul right past the pole. Full count. Leadoff hitter of the 5th. Heaven Oliva. And that'll be inside. So a runner aboard for the Jumbos. They've got the heart of the order coming up. It'll be a pinch runner here for Tufts. That's the delay. Emma Wingate over at first base to run for Oliva. Paige Murphy, the shortstop, showing bunt and getting it down, but foul. Neal 1, not showing bunt, and that'll be ball 1. And the 1-2. Lifted, it'll stay in the infield. Gonzalez Keeps it with the scoop. Basket catches that one. There's one down. Now Caitlin Perucci. Perucci 1 for 2 in this one, has a single. Needs the home run for the daily cycle. Had a double and a triple in game 1. Slow roll over to Gonzalez, gets the lead runner, and that's all they're going to try for, and they're 2 down. So Perucci on first with the fielder's choice. And the 5 spot is Lauren Harita. Harita 1 for 2, strikeout and a single. Fouled off, he needs to count at 1. Fouls it off again. That one caromed all the way back around to the Tufts dugout area. Startled Kat Kawabe, who's standing there on deck. 2-2, 2 down, runner on first. That one's going to be roped out into right center, and nobody was there. That's going to go all the way to the wall, and in comes Perucci, and she's got the lead run for the 2-1 lead right now on the RBI triple from Lauren Harita. Could not have placed it any better. You see they were shading her to play to left field. She goes right to right center. The maximum distance to make anybody run for that one. And Tufts with the lead here in the the top of the 5th inning. And that'll give way to Kawabe. Now with a runner on third with 2 down, so scoring position for the first time in a long time. And the leadoff walk to Oliva, even though she was pinch run for, and then Wingate was officially retired on a fielder's choice. That scenario, though, putting somebody on a fielder's choice each time, eventually coming around to give Tufts the run. Now the 3-0 looked at, and it's in there for a strike. And the 3-1. Inside ball. Oh, called strike 2. Full count. Swinging, we'll do it again. There's ball 4, so runners at the corners, still 2 down. That'll give way to Taylor Hurst. Had an RBI in the first game. Before we get there, we'll have a meeting, and we'll see if there's a change, but we'll going to step aside real quick, and I'll be back in just a bit. Conference is over, and we're back. Top of the fifth, Taylor Hurst. And they're going to try to get into the rundown again. The run will score, makes it 3-1. And now for St. Thomas, just trying to get out of the inning. And they're going to say they did make the tag. And we'll catch that one back for a replay in just a second. But we will go to the bottom half of the fifth as you see what transpired here. Basically an intentional hot box situation. There's where the run comes across. It's official at that point, and then they were able to get the runner on her way back to first, and that does it for Tufts in the top half. So it's 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the fifth. We'll be back in just a bit. Welcome back, bottom half of the fifth, and just about to say the scoreboard will update here momentarily. They were trying to get the correct put out for the final out there. And we are back to the 2-3-4 spot here for St. Thomas. Hinken, Bennett, and Crumrin. Brody still in the circle for Tufts. Giving up a run on 5 hits. And that one will be an infield single for Hinken. She's now 1 for 3 on the day. Just played it past Seibel. As softball fans know, once you get it past third base, that's too far in the hole, particularly for anybody with any type of speed. Chloe Bennett playing first base here in game 2. 0 for 2. Trying to get a sacrifice down. Brody will field, and they're going to say safe. By about a half step. Chloe Bennett puts 2 aboard here for St. Thomas as they are looking to counter, much like they did in the second inning. Tufts went ahead 1-0 in the second. They answered back with a run. Here in the fifth, Tufts goes up 3-1. They've got 2 aboard with nobody out. Tufts looking to just match for match. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Tufts. 1 run, 7 hits, no errors for St. Thomas. And coming into this half inning, they've both left 6 aboard. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Off-speed pitch. That's Crumrin out in front. Officially 0 for 1 with a walk. Coming back, the 2-2 pitch. Over to second. They're going to take the out at first. So runners at second and third now, but 1 down. Kawabe had this one kind of roll up onto her arm. I think that took away the force, that second. So quickly adapted, played that one over to first, made sure she got at least 1 out. Still get out of here. And surrender a run and still leave the inning with the lead. But you had to get that out right there. Sierra Gonzalez looking to make it a tie game or maybe even more. Up the middle. Kawabe gets the second out, and that is critical for Tufts. It makes it 3-2, so Gonzalez with the RBI. But a big play because now a fly ball ends the inning. And you've got no sacrifice opportunity. So runner at third. 3-2 game here in the bottom of the 5th. The first pitch to Vargas will miss outside. It'll be, excuse me, I got strike 1. That one bounces in, evens the count at 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That one's going to miss up. 2-2 on the count. Hammered but fouled off the right side. Swing and a miss. And that'll do it for the 5th. Tufts holding on to a 3-2 lead. They'll come to the plate when we come back for the top of the 6th. Welcome back. Top of the 6th inning here. 7-8-9 due up for the Jumbos. First pitch swinging will be Hurst. Taylor smacks that one foul. 0-for-2 with 2 flyouts here in game number 2 for Hurst. Hughes back out for the 6th inning for the Celts. That one in there, 0-2. Fouled off, keeps it at 0-2. That one lifted into right field, and with a play on it is Archibald, and drifts back, makes the play, and there's one down. Due up was Max Seibel, but we're going to get a pinch hitter. It'll be Matty Sewell. Lifted into left field, fighting off the sun, making the catch will be Megan Anderson. And there are 2 down for LM Malin. Malin 1-for-2 in this one. Had a pair of doubles back in game 1. Chopped right back over to Hughes, and that's a quick 1-2-3 inning for St. Thomas. They're down a run. It's the bottom of the 6th inning, and we'll see if they can find a way to claw back when we return. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Sarah Brody still out in the circle for Tufts. And Zaya, catcher stepping in. 1-for-2. Single through the left side her last time through. Trying it again. Little too early on that one. Foul ball makes it 0-1. right at left field, but fighting off the sun, unable to make the catch is Harita. And that's going to be a leadoff double. Mariana Zazaya down a run and needing base runners. Celts are in position. You can see off those shadow lines. Left field, shortstop, and third base. Anything that's in the air roughly is going to be a problem. And now that's going to be another error for Tufts. Their second of the game. Sarah Brody took her eye off the ball trying to make that play. Came up a little too quickly. And that will put runners on the corners. Now a meeting for Tufts. Try to sort everything out. Might be in a position here. You might need to start focusing on conceding that tying run so that you can get out of here with at least a tie going into the seventh. Tufts scored 2 in the seventh in game 2 last night against Trinity. Came back for a 7-6 victory. That one in there for strike one. Bit of tough luck on Tufts' part. Could have had 2 outs in this inning. Ball that was hit right at left field, but really tricky and challenging with looking straight into the sun. Had that one just go over the reach. It's kind of a simple take 3 steps back. If the game was played at noon, it's probably an out. Hard to read off the bat here. That one's going to be lifted, but foul out of play. And then an easy chopper back to first. That's not played very well. And you got runners aboard, nobody out. And the Celts, 11th ranked, 15-4 coming into this one. Dropped game 1, but looking for the salvage of game 2. Fouled off, and that'll run the count full. It's going to be a chopper. Seibel makes the out over at first. And the runner stays at third. So Anderson did move from first to second. So now runners in scoring position for Archibald, who's 2 for 3 today. Now, honestly, a position where if I'm Tufts, maybe I'm thinking put Anderson on and take a force out at home. They're going to continue to pitch to her. And that one is going to be misplayed by Seibel. 1 run comes in, and they're going to hold the runner at third. The game is tied by St. Thomas, and we're 3-3 here with runners still in scoring position. That one probably should have been the shortstop's ball. Paige Murphy probably not calling that one off enough. Again, maybe another situation where if you had a force out somewhere, you could have made that one a little bit easier. Now, Archibald's going to swipe second, so now you got runners back in scoring position again. So a base hit gives you a pretty comfortable lead. Savannah Hinken, 1 for 3 on the day. Lifted and foul. Be 0-2 again. That one's going to be rolled over to second. And an amazing double play here for Tufts to get out of the inning with the game still tied. Take a look at that on replay and see if we can figure out what happened. Hinken with the ground ball to second and wisely making the play. Kawabe coming home. Excellent tag by Oliva. And then firing it over to Murphy, who's covering second. And they catch the runner trying to sneak an extra bag. We're going to the 7th with a tie game. We'll be back. Welcome back. Top of the 7th. Tied at 3. It's going to be the 1-2-3 spot. Haley Lineback, Evan Oliva, and Paige Murphy. 2-0. And our graphic will update here in a second. We pull the stats in automatically on the graphics from the stat file that our SIDs do, and they're just making sure that they get that sequence correct. And it'll update here in a bit, but it's 2-1 on the count. That one missed, now 3-1. Hughes out there for the 7th. Pitched well so far today. That's going to hang in the air in center field and be caught. There's one down. Hinken drifted over just a few feet. Made the easy catch. So now Oliva. And before we get there, maybe a substitution by St. Thomas. Just a re-enter. And the 0-0. Misses outside. Ball 1 to Oliva. Can't find the corner there either, so 2-0. Catcher makes it 2-1. Fouling it off the left side. And a hot shot under the glove of Gonzalez at third. It will put Oliva on at first. The only base runner here for Tufts in the top half of the 7th. This one ripped. Now Paige Murphy, 1 for 3 on the day. Shading her to pull, but she pops it up towards second, and taking it's going to be Bennett over at first, and there are 2 down here in the 7th. And a pinch hitter coming up, or excuse me, not a pinch hitter. It is Caitlin Parucci, number 17. That one's lifted, but didn't quite get it all out into left. And the catch is secured by Anderson. And that will do it for St. Thomas. Defensively in the 7th, they come to the plate offensively in the bottom half with a chance to walk it off here in San Antonio. Welcome back. Bottom of the 7th. St. Thomas looking for 1 run. That would be enough to give them a victory. So they've got the 3-4-5 spot up. Starting off with Chloe Bennett. She's 1 for 3 here in game 2. Sarah Brody out there trying to mount her counterpoint and get through 7 complete. That one lifted into center and scampering in Parucci. And there is 1 down. Samantha Crumrin 0 for 2 here in this game. Had a couple of hits in game 1. Looking for a way to get it going. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That one will miss low for ball 1. Back, makes it 1-2. And now the 2-2. Outside, count runs full. Ball 4, and the winning run is aboard. And a pinch runner for Celts will be Kiana Johnson. Ciara Gonzalez 0 for 3 on the day. One down in the inning, trying to, if nothing else, get Johnson into scoring position. Outside, ball 1. High, ball 2. Over to short, and the first out is made. Over to second, not for the double play. So a runner's safe at first. Allows St. Thomas to play on. Gonzalez, hard rip. Paige Murphy, nice little flick over to Kawabe, and she couldn't quite get the throw down to get Tufts out of the bottom of the 7th completely. So St. Thomas still with a chance. First pitch fouled off. Viviana Vargas, 1 for 3 in game 2. Into the hit column in game 1 as well. That one misses outside, evens count at 1. Deflected. That might allow the runner to reach. It will. There's 2 aboard with 2 down. The base hit. Hard shot off of Brody's glove. And there was just nobody over there as ball originally up the middle. Drew the attention away from Kawabe to go up the middle, and the first base is there to cover. You've got nobody to put the out, so just dribbles out. 2 aboard. And Zozaya, 2 for 3 here in this game. Single and a double, and the double she came around to score. This one's lifted, and that should be the final out of the 7th. We're going 2 extras here in San Antonio. We'll be back for the 8th in just a bit. Welcome back. Bonus softball here. Number 11, St. Thomas. Number 17, Tufts. And a runner at second is going to be Perucci. Harita will get us started here. Leadoff hitter in the 8th. There'll be 5, 6, 7 due up for Tufts. And I'm pretty sure that everybody watching at this point understands the rules of softball, but for those that don't, in extra innings, you have a runner start at second base. It's the last out of the previous inning. And that runner was Perucci, and she has come around to score. And that will be a throwing error here on Gonzalez. That's going to allow Harita to get on, and then she advanced to second, and the run comes in. So no RBI, but a 4-3 lead for the Tufts Jumbos, and the sacrifice over here from Kawabe is going to put the runner at third. That's Harita. A chance to maybe sneak in an extra one here. Go up 5-3 if they can. Because on the flip side of it, St. Thomas is also going to start with a runner at second. And the idea behind it is if you've played 7 full innings, you can't bring across runners. We had quite a few of those innings, 3, 4, and third inning and the fourth inning, where you just 1, 2, 3. You try to make it to where, oh, if you get one hit, you might be able to score a run, those types of things. So you try to find a way to end the game. Taylor Hurst looking to bring in the second run of the inning and make it 5-3. 1-1 count. 60 feet away stands Harita. Swung on and lifted into left. Carrying back at the wall and making it at the wall is going to be Anderson, but it's a sac fly for Taylor Hurst as she almost got the 2-run homer and comes up just a bit short. And just out of the reach, we apologize for that, but unbelievable shot. And it was caught with the back up against the wall. And now Seibel will ground over to Vargas, and St. Thomas will put it away, but they give up 2. They're chasing that number when we come back for the bottom half. Welcome back. Bottom of the 8th. 9-2 Tufts Jumbos. 15-4 St. Thomas Celts. Celts needing 2 more runs. Next opponents for both of these teams, 2 SCAC schools. St. Thomas will return home to Houston, my guess, but then they're back here Friday in the area. They're up at Kerrville, so continue on through San Antonio, up I-10. Another hour or so up to Kerrville. You start to hit the hill country. They're taking on Schreiner in a conference match. in a non-conference match on Friday is going to be Tufts taking on the number 3 team in the country, Texas Lutheran Bulldogs, over in Seguin. But they've got to get 3 outs here. Runner at second is going to be Josiah, and then they, excuse me, yes, Josiah, I believe they pinch ran, number 5. As Megan Anderson will ground out to Sarah Brody, back out there for the 8th. Caitlin Key is our pinch runner. She moves over to third on that ground out, so effectively works as a sacrifice, but unfortunately in this situation, you don't need the sacrifice. You need base runners because you need another one out there. So Rivera, that's in the 9 spot. You need Key's run, but you need one more. You got to find a way to get somebody on. Fouled off, strike 1. Right to third. Seibel shorts it, but will get the out. A fantastic play from lineback. And there are 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Tufts looking to go 5-1 on their Texas road trip. Started off beating Bethel, splitting a series. Took 2 from Trinity here last night. And looking to make it 4-0 here in San Antonio as they took game 1 earlier against St. Thomas. First pitch into Rebecca Archibald. 2 for 4 today. That missed outside for ball 1. That one's in for a strike, evens the count. Key for Archibald is to get on base. That one will just be off. Makes it 2-1. Brody with the pitch. Low, 3-1. So St. Thomas, the goal here for Archibald is to get on. A pitch away from doing so with a walk. Also a great count for a hitter to get the hit. Right at Paige Murphy, and she makes the catch, and that will do it. Tufts will come back with 2 in the 8th. And they will win this one 5-3. 5 runs on 7 hits. They commit 3 errors. Come away with the win. St. Thomas, 3 runs on 9 hits. They commit 1 error. They left 11 on base. And that will do it here from San Antonio. So thank you to all for joining us today. And hope you have a wonderful rest of your seasons. That'll be it from us. Have a great night.